Good day, hi, from the Vuvuzela team here in Ballito today. We are here with Maxine. She's a private nurse practitioner operating here in Ballito. Welcome, Maxine.
Thank you so much, Marcel.
Maxine, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
So as you said, I'm a private nurse practitioner and I actually specialize in lymphedema therapy. So a lot of my patients are cancer patients and a lot of my patients have had operations, and lymphedema therapy is actually a really technical massage therapy that I do, and this is my room in our Zico. I rent a room from them upstairs, and during this time in COVID, it's actually I've closed my practice. So what I do now is I do home visits. I've got a plinth which I fold up, is in my bed in my car. So I take my bed to people's homes. And also what I've been doing, obviously we all have social distancing and we wear masks, but I've also been wearing plastic aprons and gloves. So the sanitizing and hand washing is a big must, as we all know, but I've actually implemented extra precautions as well. During normal times, I would only be operating from here and see emergency cases at home. And now it's actually turned around completely, whereas now I'm only seeing patients at home and only patients that really need to see me. So I've done a lot of wound care during lockdown, where elderly patients can't look after themselves and they can't do their own dressings. I've been doing that. And yeah, my normal home patients, where I would see them, I have patients that I've been seeing for 3 years, twice a week. I've actually cut them off as well. You know, the last thing we want to do is to spread the virus into people's homes, just because we need to maintain our financial income. But yeah, so that is what I'm doing at the moment.
Wow, Maxine, that is amazing. Do you have any special stories that you can share with us during this lockdown period?
Well, Marcel, we all know that we are so stressed out at this time, and everybody's stressed. And I think as a caregiver, because that's what I see myself as a caregiver, we have so much empathy that we think that we can save the world. And we actually can't save the world at this time. So at the beginning of lockdown, I actually went through a really tough time emotionally. I couldn't go a day without weeping. I would hear about these people that are with no money, with no food, and all the Italians that were dying at that time. It was just horrendous, and it really affected me emotionally. And my sister is a psychologist in Australia, and one day she said to me, "How's it going?" And I said, "Gee, I'm just so weepy." She said, "No, this is not on, you can't have that." And so weekly she got hold of me and we Zoomed together, and she did EMDR, which is a rapid eye movement psychology program that she does over there in Australia. And so every week we had a session together, and it really helped me. After 3 sessions, I realized I can't save the world, but I can do small things daily to help other people. And I got hooked up with the soup kitchen, and a lot of people in Ballito have, with the Orphan Fund, making soup and delivering that. And I saw these poor people on the side of the road, and instead of giving them food, I got hold of other people who are doing a drive and handing out food parcels, and saying to them, "Okay, well, this is where people are concentrated." You know, just by helping people in a small way, it actually makes us who feel so helpless about others feel better. And I know that depression is a big thing. So the fact that the government's actually opened up and allowed us to exercise, even though it's only from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning, is a really big factor in our lives, and we need to take hold of that, and we need to get outside and do something. Whether it's sitting down the road, or going for a walk down the road, going for a run down the road, it's just getting out, taking your dogs out and getting some sunshine. Food is a big factor at this time as well. You know, we've been sitting around and we haven't had much exercise, so we've been putting on the pounds, okay? So fresh vegetables, fresh fruit, lots of water. We all know that it's good for us, but every time we go to the shops, we keep on putting in the chips and we keep on putting in the hot cross buns and everything, and I'm guilty of that. I know I'm guilty of that, and I'm doing it. But just to have a healthier lifestyle in this time. And I was just speaking to Jodie downstairs earlier on as well, and she says, you know, we think that we're not stressed, but we actually are stressed, and you can see it. I can see it in my elderly patients. I've had a couple of, last week I had a patient with an arrhythmia, cardiac arrhythmia, and this week I have a patient with a cardiac arrhythmia, and they've never had cardiac arrhythmias before in their lives. And so that's that invisible stress that they're feeling of not being allowed to go out. If they get sick, what's going to happen? I've had questions from my elderly patients. What happens if we die? Who do we go to? They don't even know where the funeral service is. They said, my one patient asked me last week, she says, if I die, how will my husband know what he must do? So then I had to go through all the emergency helpline numbers and give them numbers for our local ambulance services, and make sure that they've got their GP, their general practitioner's numbers available, maybe Dove or the funeral directors down the road. Because it's a reality, and it's something that you've got to think of, and as unfortunate as it is. And a big factor in South Africa as well is that a lot of the elderly people, their children are living overseas. So they are here on their own. And that is a big factor, and it's a big factor in Ballito. So even though I have closed my practice in this room, it's actually been good for me as well to get out, and I've been able to interact with elderly people in their homes. I did go for a test myself. I was feeling not so well, and I thought, well, it'd be very irresponsible for me to visit people in their homes if I'm feeling ill. So I went for the COVID-19 test and came back negative, which I'm very happy for. And I must say it was a quick and simple test to do, although it was a little bit painful. But yeah, if you're not feeling well, rather have it checked out, because it's your social responsibility to be responsible.
Wow, awesome. Thank you, Maxine, for sharing. So often we forget that the people on the front line are real people, and that you do battle with the same issues that the public.
Yeah, absolutely.
Public do, definitely, and thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Marcel.
We'll be sharing Maxine's details on the channel. And to everybody out there, thank you for sharing all your stories. We are receiving them. They have been amazing, and we've been absolutely blown away. Remember to follow us on our social media channels and our website, www.thevuvuzela.co.za. Until next time.